Hi folks, welcome to another segment. Today we'll look at supporting your child as they read longer or more complex texts at home. This may begin in the early years when the children start to bring home these little chapter books or start to read their own little chapter books at home, or it might be when they're starting to build further along again, and those little chapter books that they bring home have quite a significant volume of text. Or they might be bringing home or reading as part of their home reading these sorts of graphic novels which require the children to piece together, you know, the plot elements based largely on dialogue. Or it might be children are selecting their own home reading books from the library, so they might be bringing home material like this. They might be bringing home longer non-fiction texts. So there can be a great assortment of what the children will bring now. Some of this might be supplied by the classroom teacher, some might be self-selected, some might be what's called negotiated. It's in the classroom, the teachers are providing a lovely selection of material that they've carefully selected, and the children will select from those teacher-supplied materials. Regardless of what the children are bringing, if we can be thinking about what's most important in reading, and that is the understanding of ideas and being able to make connections to those ideas in your own world, so that every book is a really meaningful exchange of ideas, that's wonderful, and will certainly lay the foundation for your child increasing their knowledge of the world, broadening their general knowledge, and ensuring that their own experiences expand as a consequence, a natural consequence of reading books. So conversations before reading that can support children with the reading of a text. Any little conversation where the children might look at the front cover, they look to see whether there is a blurb on the back, and at this early point they activate their own knowledge. They think, what do I already know about that? What does this remind me of? Do I know very much about that? If they don't know very much, or they already have some knowledge that they've activated, the little blurb or bit of information on the back cover will add further confirmation, or it will help the children to make some adjustments in terms of what they might understand the text is about. And it will also then place them in a good position to anticipate or make predictions about what this text could be about. So they're all wonderful brief conversations to have before children start reading. The children may explore a book before they start, so if they've got a magazine or they've got a non-fiction text like this, they like to have a little look through, and this is a really wonderful opportunity for them to glean some extra knowledge about the content or the ideas in that book and what they can expect to learn about those things. It's also a good opportunity to build further knowledge before you actually start reading the ideas, so it positions them really well. In some books, what the author may provide are chapter titles, and these are ongoing opportunities before reading that chapter for the children to have a little window into what's related to the main idea. So if you find your child is reading a chapter book and it has these little chapter headings, that's a great time for them to be thinking, oh, I wonder what this might be about, and they can keep this predicting going in an ongoing way through the text. It's also a wonderful way for you to be stopping in and connecting with them at the start of each part that they read, or from time to time when they've read that section, where they might come together with you at the end and you say, well, what was it about? And you can be checking in to check whether or not the child's summary of the text actually related to that big idea at the start of the chapter. So that helps us to have a little conversation during reading. It's wonderful along the way to just keep stopping in with children as they're reading and to say, you know, what is it that's happening at the moment? What's really important that's going on? And how do the characters feel about that? Or what's the problem that they're trying to solve? How are you feeling about what's going on? What do you think might happen next? So brief, genuine conversations about the text that help the children to synthesize those ideas, combine everything they are reading about with what they already know and understand about the world, so that they arrive at a new point in their knowledge as they continue reading throughout the text. So those brief conversations can be happening along the way. They certainly don't need to happen at the end of every single chapter, but periodic check-ins with the children are wonderful, and they also show you're really interested in the text that they're reading as well. But just that process of thinking about the ideas and putting them into language is really helpful in supporting your child with their comprehension. After reading, it can be wonderful to think back and think about what we anticipated the book might have been about at the start and whether or not it actually went that way. So it's an opportunity now to come full circle and to really reflect about the text and the ideas in the text and where the author took them, and to evaluate how we felt about that text. What do we really enjoy about that? What would we have done if we were the characters in that book? You know, is there a movie about this? So making some further connections to the world. What do we now know and understand about what we've been reading? So these conversations can be brief. But they can certainly occur before, during and after the reading of any lengthier text. So before reading, activating knowledge and preparing for the reading ahead, making some predictions about where it might go, the text might go, and certainly we can continue to do this throughout the text if we've got some little chapter headings. Even if there are no chapter headings, we can be asking the children, what do you think might happen next? So at the end of every chapter, if you're not quite sure what you could say, you could just say to the child, what happened? What do you think might happen next? Let's keep on reading, and that will be enough just to have them thinking about the text that they're reading as well. I hope you've enjoyed that segment. I'll see you next time. Thank you.